Oh, I was muted. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna get started. And like I said, we're gonna use a strap, but you don't need it yet. But if you have a yoga strap, please put it together. So you have a big loop, and then just put it to the side. So we don't need it right now. And we're gonna start laying down on your back. And be supported. So you want to be able to feel comfortable here. So please feel free to put anything underneath your head if you want a little support for your neck. Or you can keep the knees bent. Or you can place something underneath the knees. But I want you to feel supported here so you don't have to worry about having to maintain a certain position. And then just let the arms relax. You can have them out to the sides, palms up. Close the eyes. And just take a few moments here to settle down and settle into your practice. You can begin to breathe a little bit deeper than you normally do. And then just take time to notice, check in. Notice what you're feeling. Notice how you're feeling. And notice where in the body you're feeling. And then see if you can soften any areas in the body that feel a little bit tight or stressed, just by bringing your awareness to those areas as you breathe deeply. Let's let the thoughts quiet down. And just feel the nice rise and fall of your chest and belly as you breathe with ease. Breathing in through the nose and out of the mouth. And then from here, we're gently just going to draw the knees into the chest. And see if you can lift your low back off the floor just for a second and then let it lower back down. That creates a little bit more space for your back to lengthen. And then just gently rock left to right. You can make some circles with the knees in one direction and then the other. So just knowing that when you're on your back here, your back is supported by the floor beneath you. So being able to feel grounded in an area that often carries tension and tightness is a nice feeling, to know that you can ground down through the back. So here we're just going to leave the knees where they are, and we're just going to take the arms up overhead. Reach them behind you. I have a bolster behind me because my upper back has been super tight lately. So just, if you need a little support, you can bend the elbows. You can make your arms go wider. So just reaching the arms back to open up the rib cage, be able to breathe a little deeper, and start to feel what you feel in the shoulders and the upper back. And then here we're just going to start to lift the feet. You can point and flex the feet. You can make some circles. You can keep the knees nice and bent. No strain here. And then we're just going to move the body gently with your breath. So as you inhale, the feet are up. You can reach them a little higher if you want. Arms are back. And as you exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Option to lift your forehead to your knees if you want to, but you don't have to. Inhale, arms reach up and back, feet lift. So you're just syncing movement to breath. Exhale, hug the knees in. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, arms reach, feet lift. Exhale, hug the knees in. Last one, just like that. Inhale, arms reach, feet lift. And exhale, hug the knees in. So we'll take both feet down to the floor. We're going to reach for the strap. Have the buckle away from you, and you want the tail part going down. And we're going to place the right foot in the strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, then just use what you're using and gently hold with your hands. If you have the yoga strap, you're going to take the loop, place it around your head so it lands at your upper back, right underneath the shoulder blades. Okay, if you don't have access to a strap, then you could just interlace your hands behind your right thigh. If you have a yoga strap, we're going to completely relax the shoulders and the arms out to the side, and we're all going to let the left leg go straight. If you need extra support for your back, you can keep the knee bent if that doesn't feel okay. So just pause here and breathe. Shoulders are relaxed. You can turn your head left to right a little bit to see what's going on with the neck. So we're opening up the back of the right leg, the hamstring, while the low back is supported. So tight hamstrings can often lead to tightness in the low back. So this should hopefully feel good. Your knee does not need to be straight. This is also really good for circulation. If anybody has varicose veins, it's a really nice pose to just come into. Use your exhale to remind you to let go. Just feel your chest and belly rise and fall as you breathe. If you want to go deeper into the pose, you can always tighten your strap a little bit, flex your foot a little bit more. And you can also soften if you need to. Take one more full breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're just going to soften the right knee. Let your right foot slide along the strap over to the left, but try to keep your right hip and your right shoulder down. Breathe deeply, and then as you exhale, try to lengthen the leg. You don't have to straighten it. But as the leg goes a little bit straighter, you might feel a little bit of discomfort. You don't want to feel pain, but discomfort along the outside of the right leg. That's your IT band. It can get really tight, so you want to slowly ease into this pose. A nice flexed foot. This is another area of the body that you can feel in your low back when it gets tight. So take a few moments here to breathe and relax. If you want to deepen the pose, you can extend your heel away from your hip a little bit more, and maybe you even turn your right toes down a little bit. So when we come into poses that are uncomfortable, our breath often gets a little bit shorter or strained. So try to experience that discomfort and just breathe with ease. You want to process what you're feeling. So So I like to talk about coming into discomfort on purpose, so that when we encounter other things that are uncomfortable in life, we already know what it feels like and know how to pause and process with your breath. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, soften. We're going to take the right foot out of the strap, hug the right knee into the chest. You can move your right foot around. Just get a little bit of movement through the ankle. And then we're going to bend the left knee so your left foot is on the floor and come into a gentle figure 4 here. So if you're feeling this in your hip already, you can stay right here and gently guide your right knee away from you. This is also a nice stretch for the low back a little bit. So if you notice when you press your right knee gently away, you might feel a lengthening in your low back. So maybe that feels really good and you want to stay here for a breath or two. If you want to get a little bit deeper into the outside of the hip, you can reach for the back of your left thigh. You can sway the shape of your legs left to right a little bit, and then notice if you pause a little bit over to the left and then draw the left knee towards your left shoulder, you get nice and deep in the outside of your right hip and your seat and the low part of your back on the right side. Relax your shoulders. Again, anytime you want to check in with your neck, you can just turn your head gently left to right. Pausing here, low back is supported by the ground beneath you. A lot of us carry tension in the hip. Hips can also hold on to stress and anxiety. So just taking the time to be reminded to let go. Noticing after a few breaths what happens to the pose. Does it soften? Are you able to let go? Are you able to breathe a little bit more with ease? So let's take a full breath in here and a full breath out. Excuse me, we're going to relax down. Let both feet come down to the floor. Feet are going to be about mat width apart, and then gently just windshield wiper the legs left to right. You can sync this up to your breath if you'd like. Inhaling to come up, exhaling over. You can also add a turn of the head, inhaling up. Exhale, legs go right, head turns left. You can have your arms out to the sides. So as the legs are on one side, feel the knees reaching away from the hips to find some openness in the low back and the tops of the thighs and the hip flexors. Good, and then we'll come back to center and we're going to switch sides. So now you're just going to let your left foot come into the strap. Again, if you don't have a strap, you're just interlacing your hands behind the thigh and using your hands to support your leg throughout these poses. The right leg can go straight if that feels okay on your back. So you want your foot to be up and the knee can be bent. So if you're trying to straighten your leg and your leg winds up being at an angle forward, that might cause a little bit of strain on your back. So you want the foot to be up. Soft knee, arms and shoulders completely relaxed. Grounding down to the low back. And then just breathe here. So you can take this time as a time to just let go and let the chatter in the mind be quiet. Maybe thoughts are coming up, that's okay. If thoughts come up that you don't want to be thinking about right now, just tell yourself we're not thinking that right now and redirect. Focus on your body. Focus on your breath. Take the time to feel. The inhale opens up the chest, fills up the lungs. The exhale reminds us that it's okay to let go, to soften, to de-stress, to undo. Take one more full deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're going to soften the knee. Let that left foot reach over to the right. Pause for a moment. Left shoulder is down, left hip is down. You're able to take deep breaths and then maybe extend the leg a little bit more. Heel reaching away from the hip. Relax through the shoulders, check in with the neck. You can turn the head left to right. Left foot is flexed. Maybe you turn the toes down a little bit to get a little bit deeper. So breathing with ease. Trying to relax. You are in control of what you're feeling here. So if you need to ease out of the pose, you can. If you want to go deeper, you can. It's totally up to you how you want to feel. It's okay to feel a little uncomfortable as long as we know what to do when we feel uncomfortable. Do we freak out and shut down, or do we process the feeling by breathing, knowing that nothing has gone wrong, all is okay, and this is how we're meant to feel. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. We're going to bring the foot back to center. Let the foot come out of the strap. Bend the knee. You can hug it in. Make some circles with the foot. Move the ankle around a little bit. And then we'll bend the right knee with the right foot on the floor. Left ankle rests on top of the right leg above the knee. And then whatever you need here, maybe you guide your left knee away. Let your low back lift a tiny bit off the floor as you try to create a little space there. And then if you'd like to reach for the back of your right thigh, you'll notice that the low back will come back down to the floor. You can sway left to right, pause over to the right if you'd like, and draw the right knee into the right shoulder. And then just feel what you feel. Notice where you're feeling this in the body, and then just breathe deeply. You can flex your left foot if you'd like, or just let it be relaxed. soft muscles in the face, especially the jaw. Relax the space between the eyebrows. Inhale deeply, and then as you exhale, let's release. We're going to let the right foot come down, left foot come down, feet go wide, about mat width apart, and then again, just a gentle windshield wiper left to right. Feel free to pause on one side, really lengthen that inner knee away from the hip. And then when you're on the other side, same thing. Your hip is reaching away from your shoulder, creating a lot of space here in the body. And being able to breathe deeply. And then let's come back to center with the legs. We'll hug the knees into the chest. And then slowly and gently, you'll make your way up to sit. So you might want to cross one ankle over the other, and you can rock yourself front to back to go up to sit. Or you can roll to one side and gently press yourself up to sit. You can take off the strap and move it to the side. And then we're going to come to seated. So if being seated is uncomfortable for you, you have a couple options. You can sit up on something like a folded blanket. You can sit up on something higher like a bolster or a cushion or a big pillow. So find a comfortable way to sit. But then once you're comfortable, I'm going to make you a little uncomfortable by switching the cross of your legs. So we get into these habitual patterns, so it's nice to create a little bit more balance in the body by doing things on our non-habitual side. So just switching the cross of your legs might feel a little awkward or weird, but that's okay. Lengthen through the spine. We're just going to take 3 breaths here. So inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And exhale all the way out and down. So make this big, make it count. Inhale, arms reach out and up. And exhale. So letting the body move with the same rate as your breath. Inhale, this is slow. Arms reach all the way out and up. You pause at the top. And exhale, out and down. Okay, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, interlace the hands at the top, and then just let your hands rest at the back of your head. Relax the shoulders down, stay nice and tall in the spine. As you inhale, just lean the head back a little bit, elbows out to the sides. And then as you exhale, elbows hug in, soft grip on the back of the head. You're just going to guide your chin down. You're not pulling the head down, but relax the shoulders here, lengthen the back of the neck. Inhale, head leans back, elbows open, relax the shoulders down. Exhale. Hug the elbows in, drop the chin, a gentle guide with the head down to release the neck and shoulders. Inhale, arms reach out, head back, and exhale, hug it in, chin down. And then here we're going to come up to neutral. So right back up to center. Let your right hand come down next to you to support you. Your left elbow is going to reach back, left shoulder blade reaches back as you inhale. And then as you exhale, the left elbow is going to reach for your right knee. Try to press your left hip down so that you can lengthen your back. Good. Inhale. This is slow. Elbow back, shoulder blade back. And then as you exhale, picture the space underneath that left shoulder blade. Open and relax. Inhale one more time. Elbow reaches back. Relax the shoulders. And then exhale, elbow to knee, but pull the belly in and really stretch through the back. Good. We'll come back up to center. and switch. The right hand comes behind the head. The left hand comes down next to you. Inhale, moving the shoulder gently back. Exhale, elbow to the opposite knee. Relax the shoulders, push your right hip down. Inhale, open up that right elbow. Exhale, right elbow to the left knee. Good, one more time, just like that. Inhale and exhale, elbow to knee. Good, let's come back up to center, release the hand down. We're now going to take the soles of your feet together. Have a nice big diamond, so you want to push your heels away from you rather than trying to draw them into your center. You want to keep them out nice and far. Hands are going to come onto the shins, and we're just going to move your spine with your breath. So as you inhale, lift the chin, shoulders drop down, press the chest forward. And as you exhale, pull back with the belly, drop the chin, relax the shoulders down. Inhale, press the chest forward. Think about what you're feeling in the spine, around the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Exhale, pull back. One more, just like that. Inhale up, open through the chest, and exhale, pull back, open through the back. This time as you inhale, you're going to lengthen the spine, reach the arms up as if you're holding a giant beach ball, and then hinge forward from your hips as if you're handing the ball to somebody in front of you, and then just completely melt down over your legs. You can hold on to your feet. You can let your hands just come down. Relax your low back. Let the head hang heavy to relax the neck. Open up the inner thighs and the outer thighs by relaxing the legs. Feel free to sway left to right. Maybe just the head sways, maybe the whole torso sways. If you would like to feel a little bit more in your upper back and shoulders, you can slide your hands underneath your lower part of your legs. Let the palms be down, and then you're pushed down with the legs onto your arms, and then pull up with your arms against the legs, and then take the center of your back and pull it back. So that's just if you want to feel a little bit more in your upper back, just creating some resistance here. The legs pushing down on the arms. Arms pulling up against the legs. If that feels like too much, then just completely melt down and relax. Take a full deep breath in. And a full deep breath out. And then slowly roll up. Let the legs go out straight in front of you. Shake them out a little bit. You can shake out the arms a little bit. And then we're going to make our way onto hands and knees. So feel free to put something underneath your knees if you'd like, a blanket or a towel. We're going to start with the knees parallel. So not wider than the hips and not more narrow than the hips, but parallel. Big toes are going to touch. Hips are going to sink down onto your heels, and we're going to reach the arms out forward to come into a child's pose. But we're keeping neutral through the hips here for a moment. The forehead is down, hopefully grounded down on the floor or a block. Palms are down. We're going to have the forearms and elbows lifted. Breathe deeply into your upper back, the space between your shoulder blades, the back of your lungs. If you would like to feel a little bit more here, you can tent your hands so the pads of your fingers are on the floor and your forehead is dropped down to the mat. If that's too deep in the shoulders, palms can come down. If that still feels too deep, then rest the forearms down. So just see where you'd like to be here. What are you feeling in the upper back and shoulders? Can you breathe through and soften and let go? Take another full breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're going to come back up and come onto hands and knees here. So on hands and knees, you want to have your knees right underneath your hips, so they're parallel. Wrists come under the shoulders, but I like to have my wrists a little bit more in front, maybe an inch or two, just so they can take the strain off of your wrists. Fingers spread nice and wide. Your index finger points forward. And then we're just going to curl the toes under, drop the belly, take a deep breath in as you lift the chin forward. And then exhale, tuck the chin, round the back, press the tops of the feet down. Inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck and round, really round the back, creating space in between the bones. One more time, inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. And exhale, tuck and round. So coming to a neutral spine, the crown of the head is forward, your tailbone is back. We're going to take the left foot back, toes are down on the floor. You're going to take the back of your right hand and place it on your low back. So we're going to keep the low back extra safe here. You're going to pull your belly button in and up. So it's reaching for your spine at the same time that it's reaching for your low ribs in the front. So your hand went up a little bit towards the ceiling. Keeping your low back right where it is, you're just going to lift your left foot an inch or two off the floor. You're not lifting hip height. Often when we lift hip height, we get right into our low back. So we're staying low. Pull the belly button in. Gently slide the right hand off and let it reach forward. Instead of by your ear, drop it down an inch or two. It's diagonally reaching away from you. Pull the shoulder back and pull the belly in gently. So this might not look as pretty as you're used to, but we're really focusing on the back here. You're strengthening the muscles that will support your low back when it's feeling weak or stressed. So just breathe here. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, the right hand comes down to the floor. Left toes find the floor behind you. Pivot your right foot to the right. Roll to the arch of your left foot. And press the left foot flat down as you lift your left hand up towards the ceiling. Okay, an adjustment here to get out of your low back. Move both of your hips and pelvis forward about an inch or two. So now that's done the same action. Instead of having your low back way out, it's drawing in, so it's a little more neutral. Belly is a little bit more engaged. If you'd like to lift your left leg, you can. I give lots of options in this pose. If you want to build a little bit more strength and you want to challenge yourself, the left foot can come down to the floor and your right ankle can cross in front of the left. If your hips are sagging down, lift the hips and breathe. You're welcome to move your top arm in any way you'd like. See where it wants to go. Maybe it's on your low back and you're making sure that your low back is feeling strong and tucked in. So breathing deeply here. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to make our way down to a child's pose. This time your knees are going to go wide, about mat width. Big toes touch. Hips sink down. Your left arm is going to go straight out in front. Your right arm is going to thread underneath. You can either put your forehead down or you can turn your head so the right side of your head is on the floor. Whatever feels better for you. You can tent your left fingertips if you'd like. Just pausing here to breathe. Relax the shoulders. Letting the hips be wide open here, relaxing the low back. Breathing deeply, feel the expansion inside the body. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly come out. The right arm goes straight out in front, left arm threads underneath. You can turn your head to the left, or if you want to keep your forehead down, if you're feeling any tightness in the neck, it doesn't feel okay. You can tent your right fingertips if you'd like, pulling the right shoulder down gently. Breathe deeply here. Use your inhale to bring in the positive energy that you're creating with your practice. And use your exhale to let go. Take a full deep breath in here. And a full deep breath out. Let's slowly make our way back up. We're going to come onto hands and knees. Lift the hips, bring the knees back to parallel. Lengthening the crown of the head away from your tailbone. Belly is in strong. Make sure your wrists are lined up where they're supposed to be. Fingers are nice and wide. We're going to take the right foot back. Toes are on the floor. Notice what your belly is doing. Notice what your low back is doing. Back of the left hand rests on your low back. Gently pull your belly button in and up. Feel the strength and the engagement in the muscles in your low back. And then gently lift your right foot only about an inch or two off the floor. And then we'll reach the left hand forward, but it's diagonal. It's a little bit lower than you're used to. Let the shoulder relax. There is no strain here in your low back or your shoulder, but your belly and your core is engaged. We're finding balance here. We're weight bearing on your arm and shoulder and your left hip. So not only working on muscle strength and balance, but bone density. Take one more full breath in. And then as you exhale, left hand comes down. Right toes go straight down behind you. Pivot your left foot to the left about 45 degrees. Roll to the arch of your right foot. Press it flat into the floor as your right hand reaches up towards the ceiling. If you feel like you're sticking your behind out, then just pull it in a little bit. Pull your hips forward a little bit. You can extend by lifting your right leg if you want to. You don't have to. You can cross your left ankle in front of your right and lift your hips if you'd like. Whatever shape you're in, whatever pose you've chosen, you're breathing. You're feeling. You're experiencing what you're supposed to be experiencing within your own practice. In this pose, we just put ourselves into different shapes, and then we feel what we feel, and we breathe. Take one more full deep breath in here, and then as you exhale, we're going to lower down. This time we're coming into a narrow-kneed child's pose, so your knees are going to touch, your feet are going to touch, you're going to sit back onto your heels. We're going to let the backs of the hands rest next to your feet and drop the head down. Relax your shoulders. You can roll left to right if you'd like, swaying the hips left to right, rolling the forehead along the mat.
Breathe deeply, lengthening your spine, your back. Relaxing your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. So here we're going to come onto hands and knees,
and you're going to step your right foot forward up between your hands. So if you have blocks handy and you'd like to use blocks, you can place them on either side of your foot for your hands. So the goal here is that your right knee is right over your right ankle, and your left knee is pretty far back, and your left toes are pointed straight back, so they're not curling to one side or the other to protect your knee. So let your hips sink way down, heavy. Get deep into that left hip flexor. Hopefully this feels really good. Just pause here. And then we're just going to move with the breath. So as you breathe in, look forward, shoulders are relaxed down, and your chest is just shining forward. So like there's a headlight right at the center of your chest and you want it to go forward. That's your inhale. And then as you exhale, just let your hips move back and your head drop down. So don't worry about what the right leg is doing. It's okay. It doesn't have to be straight. Toes can stay down. Head is just going to drop. Again, inhale. Hips go forward and drop down. Look forward. Open the chest. And exhale. Pull back. One more time, just like that. Inhale. Drop the belly, drop the hips, open the chest, and exhale, pull back. And then we'll come back to forward with the right knee over the right ankle. We're going to get a little bit stronger in the legs here by curling your left toes under and lifting your left knee. If you're not able to do that, then just keep the knee down but curl the left toes under. So you can stay right here. If you want to go a little deeper, you can come up on tented fingertips. Scissor the energy of your inner thighs towards each other. If you want to go a little deeper, maybe you have one fingertip down. Maybe you have your hands hanging down. Pause here and breathe. We're building a lot of strength in the legs. Important not only for the muscles, but for your bones around your right knee and around your right hip. So we're strengthening those areas of the body which often either get injured or hold tightness. So breathe deeply here. Back thigh is strong. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, drop the left knee if it's not already there. Top of the left foot comes down, and you're just going to slide your right foot back and switch. So the right knee goes back, left foot comes forward. If you feel like your right knee is at more of a 90-degree angle, then just scoot it back. Because the hip's dropping, you don't want your left knee to pass your left ankle. So your right knee is back on the floor, and your toes on your right foot are reaching straight back. Drop the hips here. Let the weight of your hips release tension in the hip flexor. Relax the low back. Relax the shoulders. As you breathe in, look forward. Open up the chest, relax the shoulders. As you breathe out, pull back. So just let your hips go back, head drops down, round the back. Inhale, hips forward and down, open through the chest, look forward, Exhale, pull back. One more time, just like that. Inhale, forward and down. And exhale, pull back. We're going to come back to forward. Left knee is over the left ankle. Curl your right toes under. You can stay right here, or we're going to lift the right knee. So your feet are hip width apart. Your belly is in. Your legs are strong. They're feeling strong and powerful. If you'd like to take some of the weight off of your arms, you can, off of your hands. Maybe you completely let go with the hands. So your back is strong here. It's parallel to the floor or a little bit lifted. A little bit of an angle here. So your belly is not completely resting on your thigh. Your arms can be relaxed, hanging down. Back thigh is strong. Breathing deeply here. Thinking about the strength in your body, how strong you really are. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, drop the right knee, relax your right foot, slide your left knee back. If you have blocks, you're going to move them out of the way. You're going to send both feet to the right, come down on your left hip. Send your feet around to the front, and then make your way down onto your back. When you're on your back, you're going to hug your knees into the chest, rocking left to right a little bit. Make some circles with the knees in one direction, maybe the other. We'll take both feet down to the floor. Feet are parallel. Heels are drawing into your seat. Palms are down. Close the eyes. And we're just going to take a few breaths here, moving the body with your breath. As you breathe in, your arms are going to reach up and back, so the tops of the hands are reaching for the floor behind you, and your hips are going to lift. Your hips don't need to lift high. This can just be like a little pelvic tilt if you want. Arms reach up and back, hips lift. That's your inhale. And exhale, arms come down, hips come down. Again, inhale, you're floating up. You're moving with the same rate as your breath, nice and slow, pausing at the top. Exhale to lower. Going to take 3 more, just like that. Inhaling up, lifting the hips a little or a lot, it's up to you. Exhaling to lower. Do what feels good for your back. You don't even have to lift if you don't want to. You can just tilt your pelvis and let your low back press down. And then the exhale can be a relax. Last one, make it slow. Inhale. And exhale. From here, draw one knee into the chest, then the other, nice and slow. Let your low back go down onto the floor. Knees go wide. Lift your feet. You can hold on underneath your knees. You can hold on at your ankles, or you can hold on the outsides of your feet. Shoulders relax. You can turn your head left to right to release any tension left in the neck. You can stay at center, tilting your pelvis forward, your tailbone down. Letting go of any last bit of tightness or tension in the hips. Take one more full breath in here. And then as you exhale, we're going to release the feet down. And we're going to prepare for Shavasana. So in Shavasana, be comfortable and supported, just like at the beginning of the practice. You don't want to have to think about supporting the body in any way. You want to be supported by the floor or any props that you need. You should be warm, so use a blanket or a sweatshirt if you'd like. And then once you find a pose where you can completely let go in, try to be still. Let your breath just flow with ease. And relax. So remembering that our thoughts control our feelings, and our feelings initiate our actions. It's important to remember that when the circumstances that are out of our control around us are causing us to feel a certain way, or we think that those circumstances are causing us to feel a certain way. But it's really our thoughts about the circumstances that are causing us to feel a certain way. So taking the example of the circumstance that a lot of us are in right now, that there is a holiday coming up this week, and some of our plans might have changed because of the pandemic. So that's the circumstance. So just sit with that for a moment and notice what feelings and thoughts you have about that circumstance. Maybe you're feeling anxious, undecided, worried. All of those feelings are normal and okay. It's okay to feel those things. We're human. We're supposed to feel 50% bad, 50% good. Think about changing the thought that you might have about what might happen on Thursday to something that will make you feel good. So for example, for me, my dad might come for Thanksgiving and he might not. Depends on the weather. Can we eat outside? I obviously can't control the weather, and I don't want to worry about it. So I just think to myself, if he comes, it will be great. If he doesn't come, it's okay. We'll enjoy a meal together the next time. That makes me feel comfortable, relaxed, excited that he might come, and okay if he doesn't. Since I can't control whether it's going to rain or not, or whether it's appropriate to eat outside in that weather, I can't control that, but I can control my thoughts, and I can control how I react to the circumstance. So just remember that you are way more in control than you think. And our thoughts control our feelings, and our feelings initiate our actions. And our actions will most likely be more positive if they're coming from a place of good feelings. So just sit with your thoughts for a moment. See how your thoughts are making you feel. Notice where in the body you're having those feelings. Feelings are just vibrations that we feel in the body. And then just begin to deepen your breathing here to process whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever feelings come up. Use your breath to process what you feel. And remember that you get to decide how you want to feel. So let's bring some small movements back into the body. If you want to take a few extra moments of being in Shavasana in stillness and in quietness, feel free. Is quietness a word? In quiet? Feel free. But if you're ready to transition out, you can move your fingers and toes. And then take the time to move your body slowly and gently in ways that feel good to slowly transition out of Shavasana. And we'll come up to seated. And then once seated, just let the eyes be closed. We'll place the right hand over the heart, the left hand over the right hand. And remember that we are all connected. Not only are we with each other on this planet, but we are here for each other. Bring the palms together in front of your heart center to honor your practice and honor each other. Namaste.